amazing palm trees right beside the road. We're lucky enough just to be driving through this. Got another 5 miles to go. Well, we're driving along and there's a wall of palm trees on one side of us. I don't know if they were date palms or palm trees or something. Now the palm trees have given way to the wall of a canyon. You see the Bristlecone, that's where we're headed. That's what we're going to all this trouble for. Palm Springs and Desert Hot Springs, just coming through like a forest of broken skids and wind turbines. Look at all the turbines. My, as far as you can see on each side of the road. As far as you can see straight ahead too. So many turbines. Wow. Now there's an overpass, 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. We're leaving Covina and we're headed for Bishop. We're into a little bit of the California traffic here. It's nevertheless, it's no worse than the 401. It's a little nerve-wracking for me because I don't know where everything is, but we're headed for Bishop, and from there we'll wend our way up to the White Mountains, and with a little bit of luck we'll get to the Bristlecones. We're coming into the foothills now, I would say. I believe these are the foothills of the White Mountains. You couldn't actually prove it by me. I'm not very good at navigating, but we're cruising down the highway. I'm staying in my lane and behaving myself, watching the speed. You want to be very careful of your speed. Well, we're starting to see some mountains on the way towards Bishop. It's pretty exciting, I tell you. I hope it's not going to be too cold up there. We get up pretty high, about 8,000 feet. It might be very cold. We're about 127 miles out of Bishop. We're getting closer to the mountains. It's cool. I don't see any real snow yet. We'll see. Don't know how much it can change in 100 miles, but the elevation goes up quite a bit, so you never know. We gotta stay on this side here a little bit. I don't sort of show you that much on the GPS. We're entering the Eastern Sierra Scenic Byway. And wow, it's aptly named. It's just beautiful here. We're 106 miles from Bishop. When we get to Bishop, then we're going to do some research if we can get up to the mountains, to the Bristlecone pine trees. Having a little bit of trepidation that it might be too cold up there. Might be too much snow. I hear rumors about needing tire change. Well, I heard that gas was $5 a gallon too. It's up there, but it's not $5. 1, 3. Bishop is 79, and we turn off a little bit before Bishop to head to the mountains. Wow, look at that mountain. That's what I'm talking about. There's somebody coming back, so you know that it's safe. I've heard rumors about snow. This is borax in the desert, I believe. This is where the old 20 mule team used to come out and pick up the borax to make soap and things like that for hand washing. If you remember the 20 mule team borax shows as a kid, I sure watched those. This is a little rest stop along the way. I see the snow-capped mountain in the distance. Shows something about what we're going to be seeing. I have heard that you might need tire chains in some places along the road here. I don't know. I don't think we'll have a problem with the snow. We might. Well, I thought he was after us, but he isn't. I didn't think I was speeding, and I wasn't. We're headed up into the White Mountains. We're on White Mountain Road right now. 9.7 miles of this winding uphill mountain road.
4,000 feet.
We're at 4,000 feet now. I think we go another 4,000 feet. I'm not sure. this was supposed to be freezing cold and snow, and you needed chains to get up here. Some feet up now and just crawling up these windy roads. It's a little bit dicey, I tell you. I'm hearing the transmission whine a bit. I think this is costing us money. Sometimes you're going up a huge incline and then you go over a little rise and then you're going down again so fast. It's really frightening and keeps changing. You just don't know what to do next. Have to just drive carefully. Stay off the shoulders. The shoulders are soft, not much of a shoulder. Yeah, it's getting crazy, and there's lots of strange trees sprouting out of the rocks. I think I've seen one bristlecone already. Uh-oh, one-lane road. This will be fun. This could be real fun. I'm going to put the headlights on. Wow. Cross through a narrow thing in the rocks. Don't know how they ever made this road here. Oh, it gets wider again. We're going to be 10,000 feet up in the air. We'll see what it's like. We're almost there. Man, the transmission smelled pretty hot when I stopped at that view spot. Hope we didn't cook the fluid. I'll check it when I get down. We might need to get the transmission fluid changed. Change the transmission. We'll see. I hope not. Because that Mr. Transmission is no friend of mine. Wow, the road just keeps on going. I keep pushing uphill. Can't go very fast. There's snow on each side and some wild trees on each side of the road. Transmission smelt a little bit hot at the rest stop. Wow, there's a bristlecone. That's what we're looking for. The oldest trees in the world. 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 year old trees. I don't know that much about them. I'd seen some photographs. Mostly I'd seen star trails. I hadn't really thought about doing HDR photographs, silhouettes against the sky, and that's what presented itself when we got there. These trees are magnificent. To think what they go through living on the edge here with the weather, beaten by the cold wind, and it's high altitude. The trees grow very slowly. I guess that's why they live so long. Gnarly. Somebody told me you'd expect to see pterodactyls flying by here, and I can see what he was talking about. What a trip we've had. Mary and I hiked out to the trees to watch the sun go down. We went out about 3 in the afternoon and hiked down the trail. Fortunately for us, we made a wrong turn on the trail, or we wouldn't have got any photographs at all that night. The stars finally came out. We had to sit through the sunset from 3 o'clock and wait for the stars. This is what I'm looking for. The star trail takes 90 exposures for me to make this. There's a 20-second exposure and a 2-second wait, and then another exposure. Well, this is the pathway through the bristlecone forest. It's just amazing. There's so many of these trees all around, but it's very treacherous to walk. I don't have any stabilization or anything, so I'm just going bareback on this. Here we go around the corner. This is where we came through last night in the dark with just flashlights after we photographed the star trails with the bristlecones. So it's pretty scary. Gotta watch your step. Take it really easy. But it's well worth the walk. Look at these old giants. Gnarly, gnarly, gnarly. And we got some of the best of them on film. There's one of the huge ancient bristlecones. We're in the valley of the ancients. Possibly that's Methuselah. This is the trail. It's a very treacherous trail walking through here. Got to be very careful. Imagine what it was like on the snow-filled parts in the night. When we were coming back from shooting the star trail, it was very treacherous. We got through all right though. I had a couple of close calls. I slipped today and fell in the snow. Gotta really be careful. That's what you're looking at if you fall. You don't want to wind up down there. Just wend your way along here. We're at 10,000 feet. It's hard to breathe a little bit. A little bit hard for me to breathe. Wow. Are we being followed? This is my shot that I want to take, and I want to just try adjusting the polarizer and see if it will deepen the sky. Darken it. Oh, it does. Beautiful. Now we'll take a picture. After a night's sleep, I decided to take the 4-mile hike. Mary didn't want to come. I don't blame her. She was having a lot of trouble breathing. I was having some trouble breathing. But there was a fella there. There was only one other guy in the park, and named Greg. And Greg and I, there's Greg with the bristlecones behind him. We had such a wonderful time hiking through there. Both of us have seen many things and traveled around a lot. He was a much better mountaineer than I was, but he was kind and patient with me. We got through it. I'm telling you, I felt every year of my 67 years. My lungs are still sore from this hike. It was great. Unbelievable. It took 4 hours for us to cover 4 miles. And we were going full bore most of the time, just marveling at the trees. I tried some different exposures. I used long lenses, wide lens. Mostly I was using the wide lens. I had the 14 to 35, which is a 28 to 70 millimeter on Olympus, which I use. There's a gnarly old root. Look what these trees have to put up with trying to put their roots through this rocky soil. Just a tenacious foothold. Unbelievable. Unbelievable determination to live and reaching for the light of the sky. I just love it. I can't believe these are the oldest trees in the world as far as anybody knows. Now there's a gnarly old tree and a jet going overhead. Look at that. The sun changing, different lighting. Beautiful day, wonderful hike. Was it worth it? Was it worth driving like 2 weeks and hiking up there and getting the photographs? Well, it sure was worth it to me. I think any one of these would make an excellent hanger for an office wall or a home. Beautiful photographs. I had so much fun. I don't know if I like some of the HDRs more than Star Trail or what, but look at this here. Look at that. Wow. Just like it's been for how many years. Mary's made this one into a black and white interpretation. She works very hard on the computer working on these photographs. I've had some issues with my hard drive using 100% of the resources, and I disabled a couple programs. Prefetch, Superfetch, a couple things like that. I'm going to do a little research on that. Wow. These trees force their way up through the rocks to get to the sky, just reaching for the light that they need. It's unbelievable. These trees have survived so many things, 5,000 years. Imagine what's happened on the earth over the past 5,000 years. How many wars? Look at this beauty reaching up to the heavens. I'm so glad I made this trip. In the Saguaro cactus field, I was walking around among 200-year-old cactus getting the sky trails. Here, these trees are 4 or 5, who knows how old. And it's just amazing to see the sky behind them and the beautiful surroundings. It's amazing being up in the mountains too. It's worth every bit of it. My lungs are hurting. I had a hard time walking along and I was out of breath sometimes. I realized that I was yapping away while I was walking on the trail and I didn't even really feel it then, but look at the zooming in on this magnificent old tree. Wow. Unbelievable. I'm so glad we made it out here. It was a heck of a drive up the mountain and down the mountain. You'll see us going down the mountain pretty soon. That was really scary. Now the trees are not marked by name because they don't want anybody to know which tree is Methuselah, because they thought people might start breaking chunks off and taking them home with them so they'd have a souvenir of the oldest tree in the world or anything like that. So you just have to kind of guess about which tree is which. But it doesn't matter to me. I was here. I got to see them all. I'm so happy. I really, I can't emphasize enough how happy I am with this trip. Well, we're headed down the mountain now after an amazing night. It was freezing cold at 10,000 feet. I got a bit of an altitude headache I just did a 4-hour hike, which was 4 miles. Can you imagine? It took 4 hours to cover 4 miles. Big time headache. Well, if you go over that edge, that's the end of your vacation right there. Your ride home in a box. Well, it was difficult coming up these hills, but it's worse going down. My good heavens, these curves. It's okay when you're going around this way, and the worst you're going to do is hit the rock wall. But when you look over on the other side and you're making a turn the other way and you're thinking, wow, if I come off the edge there, I'm going to fall down like 4,000 feet pretty fast. That's the only way to get my van to go 150 miles an hour, driving it off a cliff road. So we're going down, here we're going. And I just had to stop because one of the brakes was overheating. My right front caliper was it was actually smoking. I stopped and checked with the parts guys. I put a flashlight in there and had a look at it. There's enough beef left on that pad to get us home, I'm pretty sure. But look at these. Here we go through the narrow one lane, and I'm on the yield side, so I would have to back up if somebody came through. There it is. There's the Bristlecone. There's my star trail. That's what I set out to do. That's what I spent the night in the freezing weather for, and walked down that trail. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like and subscribe.